Oh, watercolor beginners, I'm calling you guys again because this is the second part of the first part of the video we did a few weeks back on watercolor beginner tips. And today we're focusing on color value and doing a study after we talk about the 5 tips. We'll be painting this together, pretty simple, just to add depth to that painting, but kind of figuring out the lights, the mediums, and the dark tones that you can get from watercolor, either adding water or not adding water. And here's some of the practice exercises we did as we talked about the watercolor tips. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. It's gonna be great. Well, I'm excited to get back into some beginner basics. It's kind of that part 2 from the video a little bit ago. I encourage you to watch the first one so you can pick up some tips from that as well. So I've got my number 12 round brush. Just gonna dip that in water. So the first thing I want to teach you guys is how to load your brush. This is the first beginner tip. So loading your brush might seem very basic and easy for you, but make sure that you have, maybe it's new for you, I don't know, make sure you have everything sprayed down. If you don't have a spray bottle, just take some water and tap it into those spaces, okay? Wet brush, ready? What I like to do, if I have a nice mixing tray right like this, is I swirl my paint. I swirl the paint, swirl the brush into the paint, grab some of that concentrated and bring it out here. And that allows me then to be able to grab some more water, because now I can add more water and then I can make it lighter, right? But if I'm swirling, grabbing really thick paint, well, I've got really thick paint there. Very nice, but if I want it to be less thick and want it to be lighter value, which is a lightness or darkness of a color, add water. Now I'm back to that light value once again. You can just let these mix too. They're just so fun to allow those watercolor bleeds to start happening. So loading your brush is pretty easy. If you want to have really, really thick paint, we'll just go with this one here. Swirling right on there with a brush that has water. If there's not enough water on the brush, you're not going to get this nice smooth paint where then you can start painting on your watercolor easily, right? It's going to be more like, let's try this. Clean, damp brush, barely wet paint here. All of a sudden now we're getting not a smooth look. We're getting that dry brush, which is nice when you want texture, but that's not nice when I want to paint smoothly. All right, let's clean your brush. So that's the first tip. The second tip is to learn water control. And this is the most challenging one for a beginner, because how much water to paint do you need? And so that's something that we're kind of showing here. As you add more dark concentrated paint to your puddle, you're making it more concentrated, more opaque. And as you then add water from here to here, you're making it less concentrated and more transparent, right? So we've got these different values, lightness and darkness of a color. But what about controlling the water and how it goes places? What if you have a puddle versus having a really dry brush? So let's just show you the easiest way to not get a puddle in your brush. I'm going to show you how not to do it first. So wet brush, you can see dripping. There's a puddle there. It's a lot. But I'm going to pick up some paint. I'm just going to pick up this right here. I'm just swirling to pick up the paint. The brush just soaks it up. Again, I've got a very drippy brush. If I go now to paint my petals, that could be fine and dandy, but the only problem is I do have, let's add some more. I have a lot of puddling happening here from my brush. And all of a sudden, this is going to start pushing some of that paint away, creating kind of a weird bloom that you may not like. You might want a smooth finish. So one way to control that right now, once I've already made the mistake or the action of putting the puddle, is I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to dab it on my paper towel, and I'm going to just soak up some of that puddle right there, okay? So that I'm not going to get an inconsistent drying or discoloration there. That's an easy way to do it. If you want to avoid it in the future and not have that puddle from the beginning, again, pick up your paint. There's a lot on my brush about to drip off. Dab it on your paper towel. It soaks up that puddle, and then you can add in your flower and paint it however you'd like. You can also see that it's very, very light as well. And then if you want to play, that's a wet floral right there. You can just grab some of this, maybe concentrated paint, poke that in, and now you've got wet on wet. Wet paint on wet paper. And that's a fun little technique that you can try as well. What if you make a mistake and you want to lift that mistake? Okay, well, while it's still wet, you can take a clean, damp brush. This is tip number 3, all right? And you can take that clean, damp brush and you can actually lift some of that paint off. Look at how much color comes off when I do that, okay? Clean my brush. What if it's dry? Like over here, it's actually not that dry. Let's try over here. It's dry. Clean, damp brush. We can start to lift a little bit of this. See how it's lifting? We just do a little bit more scrubbing of our paper. And then clean the brush, dab it again. We can lift and lift and lift. You're not going to get all of it off of there depending on how staining that paint is, but you can see that if you make a mistake or something you didn't like, you can remove some of it, sometimes all of it, if you do it right away, depending on how staining that color is. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the 4th tip I want to show you is before you start adding in the next layer, unless you want wet on wet and this like subtle, this bleeding and blending, if you want it to be more dark and bold and not that bleeding, then you have to wait until this dries. So I'm literally just going to dry it just like so. Now that it's dry, I can go ahead and add in some bold details. And we're going to be doing this in our practice painting today too, but just grabbing some of this. Remember, okay, very watery paint. It's actually not as watery as this, obviously. It's going to spread, but it's pretty spreadable, but it's pretty opaque. And I'm just going to go ahead now and add in some of my layers to the center of this flower. So it's going to look very different than my buddy over here, which had the spreading go everywhere. It's just a different look. I'm not saying one is better than the other. Often we have preferences and what we like better. And so there you go, making sure that it's drying first, and then you can start to add in some of these beautiful dark marks, these shadows, to create more depth in your painting. So today, the last tip, tip number 5, is to do a value study to learn values, to learn the lightness and the darkness of a color using one color. So we're going to do that now, paint a flower in one color. So let's get into our painting today. I am going to be using some blue. I'm just going to clean off my palette a little bit. Things are starting to move together and I don't need that right now. There's a lot of puddles and you can just sop up what you don't want. You don't have to let it all stay there and dry, or you can let it dry if you'd like. Let's do the cobalt. Shall we do the cobalt today? No, actually, let's do the ultramarine. Let's go with that. I'm going to take my larger brush. As this is tip number 5, we've got to demonstrate how to do a color value study. So we've got this nice ultramarine on here, adding in more water. We want it to be very light layer. Dab the brush, and then let's just start adding in some petals. Going towards the center and just angling the brush towards it. Now we will put in our center later, but I'm just going to leave some white space. See how I'm swooping these petals around? Kind of swooping them in. They're not just stick straight. That's going to aid us in how loose this looks compared to if we didn't swoop them. All right, so a little bit there in the center just to have it. And then let's add in our stem as well. So value study is fun because it's giving us a nice little idea of how we can do light, medium, and dark, and how it works for us to, let's do some grass, to be able to help things kind of pop off the page, so to speak. So I've dried this here, and now we can start adding in our next layers. We've got a very light layer right here, which is lovely. I'm going to switch to a smaller brush now. And we're gonna do our mid-tone. So adding in more paint to that lovely watery puddle, and we're starting to darken this up. This is not as dark as it totally can get, and we're not going there yet, but dab your brush, and then just start to see how you want to add in some shadow. So using the side of the brush is going to give you more of that rounded look for your shadows. And I always like to put in some lovely fluffiness here around the center. We can grab some more of that paint, dab our brush, and then we can even kind of run our brush on the side of the flower and making some really large marks, and maybe even just a few little dabs and dashes here and there, just a little bit to show some fluffiness. Sometimes you want to do more and sometimes you want to do less. But if you don't like some of the marks that you make, you can clean your brush, dab your brush, and then you can just draw out some of that color. Still too puddly. So dabbing that brush is essential. So it's really just a fun play and practice to see what you think works, what you like, and then you're just spreading things around, but creating a little variety in those values for your flower. So we're going to come back, we're going to dry this, and then come back and do the darkest dark and our center. Now this is where I'm going to the darkest I possibly can. I really scrub, scrub, scrub. You can see how much darker that looks. It's very essential that you get enough water on your brush so you can spread, but not too much where it's getting a little like too dry. So see how that's dark? It's almost black. Dab your brush to take off that petal. That's essential. That puddle, dab it again. Too much puddle. And then I'm just going to go little lines and dashes here around the center. Okay, just the center part of this flower. Like I like to think of it as little eyelashes for the stamen. Grabbing some more, always dabbing that brush, and then you can go over where you've put stuff already if you'd like. And you can just kind of do some little dashes and dabs. Okay, so just keep going around your flower. Now you're building up some high contrast, more than what you had on there before. And I just like to do it pretty random because, I don't know, that's my whole thing. But the biggest piece is that you've got those shadows. They're very contrasty. They're very different than the other ones you've put down. And you're learning, hopefully, from this. How much paint got you to that really dark part, right? How much water? Very little water, enough to allow it to spread, right? So it's quite a good learning experience. And different colors will have different values. So some of them will go really dark, right? Because they start really dark and you just add water and lighten, lighten, lighten. And others, like this one, is not going to go that dark. It's not going to go this dark unless you add like a black or a navy to it and you darken it up yourself. So I'm just going to go around and see. I'm going to do some little like lines here. I'm going to see what I want to add in. I'm going to go really dark right here as well, just outlining the petal. Just because I feel like it, feels like the right thing to do. And maybe over here too. So a lot of this is very much an intuitive experience, and it may not turn out the first time, and that's okay. You're going to try again, right? You're allowed to. Clean, dab, brush. And then you can go in and you can do the same smoothing out and blending if something is too dark. We just want to bring some of that paint out farther. It's all just in fun. I hope this is helpful to you, and please let me know in comments which tip was maybe new, or maybe there's a few that you didn't know, or which one resonates with you most. I'm going to dry this and we're going to do our center and we'll be done. All right, I'm still taking my smaller brush And we'll grab some of this really thick cadmium yellow paint, and I'm just going to stipple, so these tiny little dots here in the center, and it's actually covering up somewhat because I went so dark. I'm actually able to go over that blue a little bit and have it show up. Very simple, like that. Even gonna, if you want, do a little value shift for your green. So more concentrated green. And just go over it again. A little bit of the parts, don't cover everything up. And that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed these beginner basics and tips. Okay, friends, we did the value study, we did the tips, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments what was your favorite tip and why. I love this community that we can share with each other. I want to remind you today, if this video has come out, it is Sunday. Well, tomorrow on Monday, I do my watercolor floral workshops, and they're free. They're online, they're live. We send a replay if you can't make it. So click the link in the description to sign up if you'd like to join us. Also, there's other stuff like Patreon and my art retreat and stuff like that down below, and my website. Feel free to peruse that as well. And if you're interested in learning the watercolor beginner tips that I gave for my last video, then you can click the link over here and watch that next. Happy painting, guys, and happy mental health. See you soon.